just came back from holiday. I went to Sri Lanka, and I think I kind of failed in my dietary attempts at attempting low carb.
Okay, I'm Ronit. I'm a happiness coach from Whole Food Revolution.
And I'm Dr. Nelum. I'm a GP. And Ronit, that truly, well,
We're talking about failing the holiday eating. And the answer is, Nelum, you did not fail.
yes, no, as I thought about it, I felt that I didn't, but I can understand why people
Yes.
feel like that.
And we do have, after holidays, it's usually, Christmas, Easter, those are really, really big holidays where
yes.
a lot of get together, a lot of parties, a lot of end of year parties and so on. And people get to a point, when you fail? When you feel bad about what you ate, that's failing. Why? Because this lifestyle that we advocate is a lifestyle where you eat whole food and you are focusing on being healthy.
Yes.
That's the focus of being healthy. It's not eating for the sake of eating. It is eating for the sake of being healthy. Now, if you're a healthy person, then you shouldn't have any problem from time to time eating other things.
The problem is that a majority of people aren't healthy.
That is true. That is true. And the thing is this, even the non-healthy people,
Yes.
it is very hard to stay in this lifestyle forever
Yes.
at all times. And
Yes.
it's actually it's
It's a form of punishment in a way, isn't it?
It is.
If we say that there is no room for any kind of change
Well,
in
the
what
thing is
you're
this,
eating.
our emotions affect what we are eating. It affects our health. And if we feel bad about it, then what's the point?
Yes.
The idea is to feel good. I actually think that I won this holiday. I really won. And I'll tell you why I won. Because I ate a lot of donuts. And I'll tell you why I consider myself winning. It's because I've made a point to eat without guilt.
Yes.
It's even a rhyme. Eat without guilt.
No, I completely agree. But Ronit, are there things, particularly when you are away from home, like you are traveling abroad, and I know that you do this, you travel as well, and if you're in a situation where you can't control the food that you're having, how can people navigate that?
I can tell you of attempts that worked for me, attempts that not work for me, and usually when there was a lot of stress involved, it was much harder to keep this thing, and I would like to recommend people to remember that it's for health.
Yes.
And your emotional health is as important,
if not more,
then so sometimes the thing is that what you could do is just to try to minimize it, like instead of not eating at all or feeling bad about eating at all, just remember that you need to be kind to yourself. So there were times, I remember I told Nelum about it, that I was in Zurich and I was doing a project and I had to eat breakfast because I never knew what's going to be lunch or dinner, because I was at the mercy of the people that host me. And so I went into a restaurant. I went to the cafeteria of the hotel, which was like this 5-star hotel, fancy one. And I looked at whatever was there, and I was like, whoa. I was like, you know how it is in a hotel.
Yes.
And then I stopped myself for a second and I said to myself, like, just stick to proteins.
Yeah.
Just stick to proteins. So most of the food that I ate was proteins. It was really, really good for me, and it was a lot of protein.
Kept you full.
Yes,
Yeah.
And it was a lot. And by the way, at that stage, I had to be very alert. I had to stay. It was a project, and I had to stay very, very alert. And it was a full days, until 10, 11 o'clock at night every day, and so on. So that was a successful one in a sense that I could choose the protein bits that I choose were amazing things that I don't have at home.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah,
I was like,
yes.
okay, I'm going to
That's
try
good.
different things.
Yeah.
And there were other moments that I didn't work. But then if it doesn't work,
Just
breathing.
yes.
Enjoy the food. Tell yourself, I'm enjoying every bite of that
Yes,
croissant.
savor it. Yes.
Yes.
See, so what happened to me, Ronit? So I went to Italy last year, and actually, even though I went saying I'm not going to be doing low carb in Italy, but I ate 2 meals a day and I walked everywhere. So yes, so it was a bit of a balance. Okay. In Sri Lanka, though, what I found was that because I was going back to my birth country and where I knew lots of people, and lots of people invited us for meals that were cooked by themselves, then it was really difficult to be able to say, oh, no, I'm not having this and I'm not having that, because the culture is such that is very offensive. So and then also there was very little incidental exercise, so I didn't have the ability to walk as much as I usually do. Luckily, when we stayed in hotels, we managed to do some exercise in the pools and in the gyms. But you're right. Eventually, what I realized was that it's not a big deal. It's 2 weeks, and I'm just going to enjoy myself and do what I can to reduce the quantity of food that I had to eat. And
Because you had a challenge with quantity.
it was the
Also.
quantity. It was the fact that we were invited for lunch and for dinner every single day. And so it wasn't like, you could say, oh, I'm just going to have an egg with some chicken. No, you can't do that when it's cooked for you. And then sometimes we were also invited, or we would say to people, well, we're not coming for lunch or dinner because we couldn't fit it in. We're coming for tea, just tea, like a cup of tea, and you'd go and you'd find a whole table full of sweet. And so it was hard. But I realized, as Ronit said, I couldn't control it. I was going to enjoy this amazing food that was cooked with a lot of love, and come home and mitigate the situation as best I can.
Yeah, it's basically when you can, you control it. You do some breathing, you take some exercise, you just relax your body, because the more relaxed you are, the better it is for you. And that a lot of our problems is basically cortisol, feeling tensed and feeling stressed about it. So adding stress on top of it
is probably the worst thing.
Yes, it's really, I mean it when I say what you think about what you eat is more important than what you eat. Like, it's better if both of them will be in the right place. But if they're not, then focus on how you feel. Yes. Really, if you're doing chocolate, if you're doing cakes, if you're doing this thing, because you cannot for any reason say, well, I went out, it was a holiday, it was those things. I on those holidays, we have a holiday that we eat basically donuts and hash browns with dipped in a lot of oil. It's an oil holiday. And I said to myself, and we went from one holiday to another holiday, and then we had Christmas at our daughter's place and so on. And Christmas was the easiest one because they didn't have donuts.
Yeah.
But it was very easy because there were
lots of meat
There's lots of meat. And I want to say something. Another thing. A lot of people, we have a joke whenever you go to a buffet place or a place that there's so much food, you'd say, I fasted since the morning. It's like, I did not eat the whole day in preparation. For me, it doesn't work that way.
No.
Because if I don't eat the whole day and I come to eat, I put 2 bites in my mouth and then I can't eat anymore.
Right.
Yes.
Interesting.
It's like if I fasted for, let's say I did not eat in the morning or during the day and I eat in the evening, I just can't eat a lot.
Right.
It's really, really interesting.
Yes.
So it was very funny because there was one event in my house and there was a lot of foods because there was, I don't know, about 70 people came and
Everybody
every
brought
family
something.
brought something.
Yes.
So, which makes it much easier, I have to be honest. And that's the only thing I ate, and I just ate the donuts. I was like, there's so much food. And I said to myself, well, if I'm eating, I might as well enjoy the donuts. So I just ate the donuts. And
and I think that's the way to look at it, Ronit. If you don't have a control over what you're eating for that particular meal, just enjoy it.
Yes, that's the antidote. Really, we think that if you enjoy it, really enjoy it,
and don't feel guilty.
Yes, if you really enjoy it, then your body will metabolize it a bit better. I honestly think like that. So remember, we came up with the slogan. It came out as "Eat without guilt." So remember that. This is Ronit again, and we would like to encourage you to like, share, subscribe, and spread the word. Hopefully, we will win this revolution.
Bye.
Bye-bye.